Welcome to the wonderful world of Waikato Sheds. We're here out, we got Lake Rotoiti just behind us, and we are just here. We just had the steel house frames delivered for this little habitable, nice batch holiday home, I think, for this client of ours. It's 100 square meters, 12 this way by 8 meters that way, 3-bedroom. He managed to squeeze 3 bedrooms in, which is nice. Living area here with a little lean-to, which I think he'll end up building a little deck on the other side, get a good view of the lake. Yeah, and obviously just here before concrete being poured, the guys will be here end of the week, rib raft floor here, and then yeah, the guys will be into it next week Monday to start smashing out this job, putting up the frame. Luke from Anderson Construction, they'll be doing a great job here for us, and we've got everything else on the way as well for next week for them, so they're going to do a good job here. But yeah, it's nice view, got a nice mountain range around. Yeah, beautiful area, and obviously nice little habitable shed house. Not really any shed to it, but a house nonetheless, which is nice.
So you got Mark the shed builder on the camera duties today. We've got Quentin from the office doing his thing, and as you'd just spoken about, this is a rib raft floor. So some people will be like, ribs, I like those, but usually I'm eating them. What are you talking about? A rib raft floor. So what do you know what makes a rib raft floor, Quentin?
Yeah, well, in here, if you have a look, you can see that there's a bunch of ribs and rafts, I guess. So the rafts are there with the poly, and then the ribs that are running through, and that creates, yeah, I guess a bigger structure with insulation through it.
Insulation through it. It also makes it really strong. So you've got your 100 mils of concrete on top of all these blocks of polystyrene, but also in between them you have these deeper footings, which has structural, well, not structural, but steel rebar all through it, tying it together. So it makes it that the whole pad can one whole piece, so there's no chance that even if one corner of the earth sunk, the pad is going to hold itself together really well. So it's really good option in a lot of places. Instead of having to do a huge dig out, having to put piles of footings, we can do rib raft floors. Also, it's what the engineer wanted, and engineers generally get what they want.
Yeah, that's right. And if you look over here as well, this is an internal thickening that is running through there. So you've got your typical rib raft, and then there's an internal thickening just running through here, and that's to help support some of the structural walls, and that just, yeah, provides extra support. Sweet. So we had the steel house frames and everything, the trusses at the back there, but frames here, we had it delivered here. Unfortunately not where we usually want it, close to the pad, but we had to get it done here because, as I said, the concrete's being done, and we've obviously got to allow for the concrete trucks to get around the pad and pour. So we've dropped it off as close as we could. But yeah, this is all from Steelhouse, New Zealand Steel, and easy as. Once you get this, you get a set of plans with yeah, all the panel numbers, and chuck it up like Lego pretty much. So yeah, we've got them all here. And if we come over here, there's a couple of other things that comes with the steel house. So these are the frames, a couple more panels that are frames, the trusses there, some purlins, ceiling battens, some of the other lintels and whatnot, but this here is thermal break. And Mark, do you want to touch on why we get those?
So with a steel house structure, being that the frames are all built out of steel and then we're going to clad it in iron, if we didn't have a thermal break, the cold could transfer through from the iron and into the house. So what we do is wrap it in polystyrene that then thermally breaks it so that the cold from the outside can't enter the inside. And what we do is put polystyrene all over the house, and then we wrap it in building paper to waterproof it. So it's also giving a barrier of insulation and thermally breaking it from the house. So that's what we do there. One of the most awesome things, I've built a bit of timber back in my building days, and me and Quentin unloaded this whole truckload. Wouldn't have taken probably more than half an hour to do, and it's light. Two of us can pick up one of these lintels happily and move that round. Some of these wall panels, one person can pick up and move round. So like we say, although it's not as close, it's actually not that much work to pick these up and move them round. So it's really fantastic. And that's the benefit with the steel. It's a light gauge, but it's really strong because it's New Zealand steel. It's also perfectly dry, none of that matters. Where with timber you can get it a little bit wet, a little bit bowed. You have none of those problems with Steelhouse. And as Quinton had said, it's just kind of like a big Lego project, because on the bottom of it all here we have numbers GL5, and then on your plans it will say GL5, and you'll know exactly where to put all your walls. So you just be able to go through, grab GL8, start standing them up, stitching it all together, and then dynabolting it all down to the ground. And then same, you have two end panels for your for them, and then you just boom 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 and it's all there and done. So yeah, really excited to come back down onto this project and get on the tools with Luke and his crew and help them out, but also be able to film and document it for future builders and kit set clients. So yeah, fantastic. All right, cheers everyone, great sheds, done right.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Waikato Sheds. We're down here in Lake Rotoiti. We're building a nice little 3-bedroom house down here. I don't get out of the office much, so it's really nice to be on site. And we're here, and Luke, nice to see you on site. Yeah, we don't catch up that often.
No.
But we're building this beautiful 3-bedroom house. It's about 103 square metres. It's got, and we're doing it all totally out of steel stud framing that Steelhouse has kindly provided. Luke, how have you found it?
Oh, it's a great product there, Bonnet. It's super lightweight, easy to use, straight, you know, dimensionally perfect. You can't really fold it.
Cool.
And it's, yes, a lot easier fixings than timber, I believe, and yeah, just a great product.
All right, how long, I mean, we know we've got all the frames stood and you've got the trusses up and everything. How long has it taken you guys, there's what, 3 of you here?
Yep.
How long is it taking to do this?
Yeah, so about 2.5 days to stand all the frames, do all the trusses, ready for cladding, really. Yeah.
Ready for cladding. So you'll be ready for the pre-line inspection or post-line inspection in a day or two?
Yeah, tomorrow,
really?
yeah.
Wow, that's incredible, that's fast. The other thing we also like is that there's all these holes that go through the framing for all the electrical and plumbing. So is it nice being down here in Rotorua?
Not bad, good to get out of Hamilton for a change and a bit of a view. I can't really argue with that. Yeah.
The Greater Waikato, we're always quite happy to build in the Greater Waikato. Rotorua's just on the border of that, so that's really cool. All right, Luke, so what are we cladding this in?
So this is all going to be clad in Windsor Grey corrugate with vertical wall cladding, which means we don't have to put a cavity.
That's nice. So that speeds up the whole build process as well. Difference is if we go horizontal, where you do a different type of cladding, we've got to put a cavity batten in so moisture can get out. But because of corrugate and the special design of it, we can just put a what we call direct fix, which speeds up the whole build process, saves money, saves time. Now the other cool thing is that I know that we're in for some gnarly weather coming soon this weekend. So tell us a benefit about using steel as opposed to timber when we're having weather events like that.
Well, for the pre-line inspections, the building inspector will test the timber framing to see the moisture content, when obviously this is not going to absorb any water.
No,
so
it's not.
That will never be an issue.
So for us, it means that we can carry on, keep going, don't have to stop, which is really cool too.
It's good.
We're just going to have a little look around with Luke about a few of the features. Like Bronick was saying, these sweet little I don't even know what they're called, plastic things, but it's so that all your wires can run through and they're not going to rub on the steel framing.
Same with the pipes, yeah.
Yeah, same with the pipes. So just really easy. All the sparkies and plumbers really like it because they're not having to drill a million holes. They can just run all their cables. So we've got this double skinned wall here. So what's the purpose for that?
I believe this is for soundproofing. So there's obviously a bedroom here, you've got a lounge here, they might put some sound insulation in there.
Yep.
And also the veranda roof comes off here, so that would add some extra structure that way.
Yes. So yeah, what's another little cool feature on this? It's pretty basic straight gable, but we are doing a veranda off the front of it, which the clients are then going to put a deck on, which is just going to be awesome to sit there, enjoy a beer, watch the lake and have a good time. So that's really cool. So if we just have a wander around, we'll just have a look at a couple other features we'll point out, and then we'll go from there. Also, Luke was just pointing out another awesome feature with these holes. What was that there, Luke?
Yeah, so all these holes are at the height where the sparkies can run for plug heights. Most plug heights are down this low, so they've got freedom just to run all their cables through at that height.
Run it all through and then attach it. So it just makes it easier, makes it way quicker and more affordable. You're not wasting wires and all of it. And then the other thing people might be wondering, what are these blue blocks up here?
Yeah, so that's to create a thermal break between the whole roof structure and the lower half of the building. There'll be insulation at ceiling height, and those blocks stop transfer of heat through the steel framing into the walls.
Yeah, cool. And then so before you clad it, we're going to put on polystyrene and then building paper, and that creates a thermal break between the tin and the building. So these buildings work out to be really warm and really well sort of insulated and protected from the weather from the get-go.
Yeah.
And then I guess the last thing is just around here, these little blue pieces next to it, what are they all about?
Yeah, so again, they're just to connect the trusses down to the top plate with minimal transfer heat.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So they're just holding that all together, and then through the whole outside of the building, you just go and put little plates on to also hold all the end walls down and everything.
Yeah.
And then fixing to the ground, what do you do for that?
Yeah, so on these load-bearing walls, we're all just bolted with a washer, and on the bracing units, they come with these bigger washers. Again, it's all their system that just fits in perfectly to the studs.
Yeah,
and it's quite simple.
Yeah, and then just a little bit of DPS underneath those to stop any moisture being able to transfer up and through to it.
Yep.
So obviously as you've been going, you've just been putting a bit of bracing in to brace it all like you normally would. And then as the cladding goes on, the cladding works as bracing as well.
Yeah, it's quite handy. They're all just the ceiling battens, which we'll use afterwards. So we can just take them down and use them as a ceiling batten.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so for the ceiling, you've just got... for the roof, you got roofing battens all through, and then so the ceiling, you'll run battens all through, and they're made out of a slightly softer gauge, so they're really easy to fix the jib up onto as well. So they've sort of thought of it all with the steel house. And then how did you find it? You just have the set of plans, and then every piece of framing has a number on it, so it's sort of just like a big jigsaw.
Absolutely, yeah, everything's labelled well, and it all just goes together perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. All right, well, look forward to getting back here after Easter, seeing the roof on and a bit more form and structure to it all. So,
Absolutely.
Cheers, Luke.
Cheers, guys.